Gemini Home Entertainment is a short analog horror video series by Remy Abode. Expect a variety of videos that feel like old VHS tapes with an ominous and spooky twist. The entire series is about an hour and a half long and should be watched in release order. I would definitely recommend at least trying it out. Personally, I love this type of aesthetic, so I got a huge kick out of it. Anyway, the rest of this video is going to be me assuming you've already watched the series, so obvious spoiler warning. The first episode is World's Weirdest Animals. Here we're introduced to a formula we'll be seeing a lot of. Lighthearted educational happy fun time, transitioning into haunted shit, building up into a spooky payoff, ideally. This episode does them all pretty well. The first section actually feels like it has the capacity to bait someone. I love the turning point in this episode. I remember thinking like, oh, what? It's humans? Nope, fucking wood crawlers. Really lets your imagination sort of run around a bit. It's some lovely build-up until we get to see an old friend, the limbo spider. A satisfying payoff without a cheap jump scare. Whoa! The last third of the video involves some mans videotaping fake people in a house. I was pretty stressed when this part started at first, but it kinda just drags out and then ends with a guy running at the camera. Kind of a lame ending. Next we have storm safety tips. In this episode, we listen to music while reading white text on a blue background. This series has 3 particularly weak episodes, one of them being episode 2 here. The ending is okay, nothing crazy. I'm just glad this episode's short. Next we have The Deep Blue. Honestly, one of my favorites. I love the music choices for the first section, and we actually have stuff to look at. I love this scene. What an ominous image to cut to. Then we get some great build-up into BAM! Among Us. By now I've got 2 things on my mind. 1, it's nice to see that this is all taking place in the same universe so far. And 2, Among Us. 2, I'm slightly worried that all of these videos are just going to be following the same aforementioned formula. But as we get into episode 4, artificial computer learning, we do in fact get a different formula. We get right into the thick of things. No relaxing music or anything, just a haunted computer. Pretty cool. Next we have probably my favorite episode, Our Solar System. Even though we return to the standard formula, I don't really care. The music, images, font, and text work to create an entertaining atmosphere. Then we get some super cool scenes that really tickle my fancy. Big, scary memes in space are a delicacy. I can't get enough of this shit. Next is Camp Information Video. It's okay. This one really starts to kick off the overarching story. Lots of air quotes. I wrote actually 5 of them on each side here. That's going on here. We see the lights again, fucking spider, this thingy. We get a nice campfire story, and things actually start to get really fucking creepy. And then... that was a little cheesy. Things just went a bit too ham. I think it's mainly the obviously low-budget hands here that took me out of it. I still like this episode, though. Next is Lethal Omen commercial. This one is unique. We get like an actual game. Like, playable and shit. It's fucking weird. Anyway, this episode is pretty satisfying because we start to see a lot of elements from the previous videos pieced together. Especially this fucking space eyeball. This taps into my extensive fascination for megalophobia, which is extremely hard to find in media. Next up, Wilderness Survival Guide. This sort of follows the same formula, only with a few spooks thrown in the middle, which doesn't really add much. This is one of those weak episodes. It's 7 minutes long, and not much happens. We get a long scene where a guy who I assume is in the process of being turned into a fake person by the haunted deep-sea limbo Among Us crawly boys. While his screams for help are pretty unnerving, the way he walks around is just kind of silly. Takes me out of it. Then to top it all off, we get this lame fucking ending. Now, for most of these videos so far, I haven't actually been that scared. I've been uneasy, which is fun, but mostly these videos are enjoyable because of the aesthetic. There's a lot of fresh, unique, fun imagery and sound design. But then we get... sleep image visualizer. This episode speaks to my soul. In a bad way. I frequently deal with hypnopompic hallucinations, so this type of shit really gets to me. Also, we get more megalophobia. Let's fucking go. Anyway, this episode is pretty spooky. Next, we have games for kids. Returning to the standard formula again, we get some sort of dope, nostalgic imagery. Things get haunted, nothing new or crazy. There's some cool shots of the woods, and then we get this low-budget spider eating a car. Pretty dumb looking. Advanced mining vehicle. This is where things really start to pick up. And by pick up, I mean down into a haunted fuckhole. Instantly. This one's great. The visuals are very impressive. Just look how creepy these legs look compared to the old ones. Deep root disease continues to establish the formula we get for the rest of the series. The old formula has run its course. It was fun while it lasted, but I really appreciate that things are just creepy from the get-go now. Anyway, this episode is fire. We get to learn more about the Among Us fungus that's infecting people, and the visuals are fantastic. Monthly progress report sets up a really nice atmosphere with the extremely quiet and muffled music. We get to learn more about the cursed AI development stuff. I'm assuming the client is the giant space eyeball. The visuals and sound design are solid as fuck, once again. Moving on to Christmas Eve party. Honestly, I got kind of nervous going back to record clips for this episode. It's fucking scary, dog. Not much else to say. Fuck. Fun fact about the next episode, Home Invasion Help. This is actually the first one I watched, and it's the second to last. There's some decent build up to this episode, so I'm a little bummed I kind of got spoiled, but whatever. This episode is really good, and it's why I started watching this series in the first place. It's creepy as fuck. We get to walk around this house for a while before finding some people who have been infected by the Among Us fungus. Also, I watched this episode with several people, and I'm pretty sure all of us knew his eyeball was gonna move here. Anyway, our character gets attacked by a woodcrawler. Very well done. Time for the last episode, Crusader Probe Mission. The intro was haunted this time, so you know shit's going down. Crusader Boy flies into space and we get to see some more planets, then some haunted planets, then we go into some shit straight out of Knights of Sidonia. This is honestly some of the coolest shit I've ever seen. The visuals and sound design. Fuck, dude. I was in a trance watching this shit. While I do want to see more from Remy Abode here, I'm satisfied with this being the last episode. Alright, so there's a lot I enjoyed about this series. Visuals, sound, and music are all great. There's a wide variety of styles and locations. There's almost always something to keep my ADHD brain engaged. The formula changes at an appropriate pace throughout the series. There aren't any jump scares, and the universe is fresh and intriguing. My only major problem with the series is that a few of the episodes are underwhelming. Unsurprising to me, after skimming through various analysis videos and comment sections for this series, I found that people are very interested in dissecting the nitty-gritty details of this series in order to construct a more coherent understanding of the universe and story we've got going on here. Personally, I don't really care for this kind of stuff. I didn't watch this series expecting a story, so I'm content with being given little bits of information and letting my imagination do the rest. Anyway, that's about all I have to say about this series. This is my first time making a video like this. Sorry if it feels like kind of a mess. Thanks for sticking around regardless. I'm getting the fuck out of here.